Hi guys, I'm Paul from Urban Constrictors and welcome to the third part of the 2 Minute Tuesday series. Now you will have to excuse me, I've been so incredibly poorly the last few days, and as you can hear by my voice, I'm still not very good. I've got sweet in my mouth to keep my throat lubricated, so if you can hear it clanking around my teeth like I can, I do apologise. But without it, I simply couldn't do this video. Now you're probably thinking, why have you done this video if you're under the weather? It's simply because this is the third instalment and I didn't want to not do it and drop the ball and let people down and also let myself down. I'm really trying my hardest to keep up with these videos, although they are very time consuming. So today's question is brought to us by Ben Ogden, and as you can see on the screen, he's asked about feeding ball pythons from hatchling to adult size. Now I have just shot this video and tried to cram it into 2 minutes and I really did fail miserably. So I'm going to try my best to whittle it down on this second go and hopefully keep it around the 2 minute mark. So let's slap 2 minutes on the clock and let's see how we do. So once a hatchling is hatched, it spends its first few days in the tub with all its brothers and sisters until it has its very first shed. Once it has its very first shed, it goes into its own little tub with its own water, etc. And I use V18 tubs. Approximately 3 to 4 days after they go into their own tub, I offer them appropriate size prey item. If they take, I offer it about every 5 days. And the reason behind this is, I want the snake to have a great start in life, but I also want to have many opportunities to feed it and to get it having a good trigger reaction when it's been offered a prey item. And then when my customers get them, hopefully they'll have the good success. So once they reach approximately 200 grams, I go to every 7 days and I go slightly larger. And then they'll be fed every 7-ish days until they're well on the way. And I kind of do it every 7 to sort of like 9 days. I know people would say every 7 to 10 days, but I think mine works out about every 7 to 9. Shed cycles gets in the way of things, so you've just got to kind of do what you can when you can. Now, once males reach breeding weight, typically they'll go off food. So up when they're coming into their first breeding season, if you think they're going to breed or you plan on breeding them, feed them a little bit more frequently if you can and just get them a few extra calories in them, because some males will go off food during breeding seasons and others won't. Same for females, feed them a little bit more frequently when they're breeding, when they're actually breeding, because they get this urge of let's get all these calories in to carry them through the fasting period of their breeding season. This is where I feed them one prey item size down, but more frequently. Now a lot of breeders stick to the same prey item, but I know every animal, every human on earth can only intake a maximum amount of food and then they dump the rest. So this is where, if your snake has really big poos, it's dumping an awful lot of food. So because I'm going to feed them more frequently, because I know they'll want it, I go slightly smaller so they can take more in, more of a percentage of a rodent. So if it's a small rat, it might use 90% of it, and if it's a medium rat, it might only use 60% of it because it's a bigger prey item. And then they dump the rest. And with it being slightly smaller, it gets processed a little bit quicker because they get this massive urge to females. So every sort of 5 to 7 days, you just bang them with food. Now I don't do that with all my females because some don't get that crazy urge. Some only get it for a week or two, but others just get this this massive amount of feeding response. Excuse me. So males, if they're going to feed during breeding season, I offer them food when it's feeding day. It's as simple as that. If I open a tub for getting a male in there, or just like this tub's got a male in, if this is facing upwards because they've locked and I pull it out and I see that male having a really good body language for wanting to feed, I'll first feed the female, then quickly the male, but as soon as he strikes and hits the run, I'll pick him up then put my hand under him, carry him to his own tub and put him in there. And 100% of the time they just eat that raw, and I leave them in there for a couple of days to get the digestion period really going, and then I can start putting them around other females that they're due to see. So once they're kind of adults and they've gone through their first breeding season, whether I bred them or not, I feed approximately every 7 to 9 days. And I just fit feeding in with my lifestyle. I don't do it on set days. This works for many people. It just doesn't work for me. And if you do it on set days and you miss a day, sometimes it can be 2 weeks before you offer them. So if you say, oh, I'm going to feed every Saturday, and you have other plans and you go out that Saturday evening, some people will wait till the following Saturday to feed. So I just do it about every 7 to 9 days around my lifestyle. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how I feed my snakes. So a quick recap: hatchlings about every 5 to 7 days. Ones they hit around 200 grams every 7 to 9 days. Every 7 days. And then once they're much larger, sort of breeding weight, every 7 to 9 days. And that's, in a nutshell, how I feed my snakes. Pretty basic, but these snakes are pretty basic. So I'm sorry this video was very sketchy, guys. I do apologise about how I sound. My throat's in bits. So next week it'll be a bit more upbeat video. Thanks to Ben for bringing this subject forward. I'll talk to you very soon. Cheers.